Imagine catching a deadly virus from simply breathing contaminated dust. That's the terrifying reality of hantaviruses, a rare group of viruses carried mainly by rodents that can cause severe lung disease, kidney failure, and sometimes death. Most people had never heard of hantaviruses until recently. Global headlines have focused on a suspected hantavirus outbreak aboard the MV Hondius, an Antarctic expedition cruise ship where multiple passengers became seriously ill during the voyage. The incident shocked health officials because outbreaks like this are extremely rare, especially on a cruise ship. And it's this recent outbreak that has suddenly pushed hantaviruses into the spotlight. Hantavirus is actually the name for an entire family of viruses found around the world, and different strains can cause very different illnesses. In North and South America, hantaviruses are most commonly linked to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, or HPS, a severe disease that attacks the lungs. One of the best-known strains is the sin nombre virus, which was identified after a deadly outbreak in the southwestern United States during the 1990s. In South America, the Andes virus has become one of the most closely watched strains because of its rare ability to spread between humans. Meanwhile, in Europe and Asia, hantaviruses more commonly cause a different illness called hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, which mainly affects the kidneys rather than the lungs. But despite their differences, all hantaviruses share one important thing in common. They originate in rodents. And that's exactly how most infections begin. Hantaviruses are commonly carried by animals like deer mice, rats, and voles. The rodents themselves usually don't become sick, but they can spread the virus through their urine, droppings, and saliva. The real danger happens when contaminated material dries out and becomes airborne. Tiny viral particles can mix with dust and enter the air, especially in enclosed spaces like cabins, sheds, attics, basements, or storage areas. People can then become infected simply by breathing that contaminated air. In many cases, infections happen while cleaning rodent-infested spaces, sweeping dusty floors, or handling contaminated materials without protection. Unlike viruses such as influenza or COVID-19, most hantaviruses don't spread easily between people. But as investigators suspect in the MV Hondius outbreak, the Andes strain is one rare exception. And once someone is infected, the symptoms can escalate frighteningly fast. Symptoms usually appear anywhere from 1 to 8 weeks after exposure, and early signs often look deceptively mild. Most patients first experience flu-like symptoms such as fever, fatigue, muscle aches, headaches, nausea, and vomiting. But the illness can rapidly become far more severe. In hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, fluid begins building up inside the lungs, making it increasingly difficult to breathe. Patients can deteriorate very quickly, sometimes requiring intensive care or mechanical ventilation within just a matter of days. In severe cases, respiratory failure or shock can occur, and mortality rates remain high when treatment is delayed. Because the early symptoms resemble many common illnesses, prevention becomes especially important. If rodent droppings or nests are discovered, experts strongly advise against sweeping or vacuuming them directly. Doing so can send infectious particles airborne and dramatically increase the risk of inhalation. Instead, the area should first be ventilated by opening doors and windows for at least 30 minutes. Disposable gloves, and ideally an N95-style mask, should be worn throughout the cleaning process. Finally, hands should be washed thoroughly with soap and water. Simple precautions like these can dramatically reduce the risk of infection and help prevent future outbreaks. The ongoing MV Hondius investigation is a reminder that even rare diseases can suddenly become global concerns under the right conditions. While hantaviruses remain uncommon, they can be extremely dangerous. And understanding how they spread may be the best protection we have against them. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more science and health explainers. And stay informed, stay safe.